Hello everyone, if you see behind me there is a monument, and behind that's the Kasserine Pass. So this is a monument to the fallen soldiers from the battle that happened here. It started on the 19th of February 1943, and this was the first major engagement between Allied and Axis forces here in Africa. Good morning everybody, welcome to the car. It is just before 5 AM, so curfew's just about to finish. And today, let me get the lights on for you. Today we are heading on a mission from Tunis to Kasserine, which is in the far west of the country. So we've got quite a lot to get through over the next few days. There's quite a few archaeological sites in Kasserine we want to see, including Mghilla. We've got the Kasserine Pass from World War II, a couple of other significant sites down there. And yeah, the town itself, they've got a couple of national parks. Now there are a few issues with traveling around Kasserine, around security, and that's something we'll discuss later on in the video. But for now, we have a lot of driving to do. I think it's a good 350, perhaps 400 kilometers to get where we're going to start with. So yeah, 5 AM, let's go. Right, we are now heading directly into the Kasserine Pass. We're looking for the monument, but there's a military monument here to the Allied soldiers, but it's unmarked and I don't have the GPS location, so I think you just, well, there's the pass, you see? Got the mountains on our left and on our right. Now somewhere there should be a turning leading to the monument. Let's see what we can find. That's the Kasserine Pass. And this was the first major engagement between Allied and Axis forces here in Africa. It turned out to be a bit of a disaster for the Allies. They got pushed back quite significantly by Rommel's troops. And I guess this monument here is to commemorate some of the soldiers that fell in that battle. If anyone's seen the classic war film Patton, you'll see it kind of picks up at the beginning of that disaster. So Patton comes in and kind of checks out the wreckage in that area, and they try and learn some lessons from what's happened. It's actually a very difficult monument to find, so it's not GPS tagged anywhere. It's behind a military base, so you cannot see it from the road. I guess the nearest waypoint is actually the graveyard, which is directly opposite on the other side of the road, so you can see that. But anyway, incredible views. It's a shame it's kind of rainy today, but look at that. And there is the pass heading northwards up towards Thélepte. But that is not where we're going today. So today we are going to be continuing to the southwest, and we're now going to go down to one of the archaeological sites. Right in front of us we now have Jebel Chambi National Park. You can see it up there with the radio towers on top. And then the mountains stretching all the way across in front of us. We are not going to be heading up there today because it is a closed military site. So unfortunately you're not allowed access to the national park because they're busy cleaning out all the insurgents. And there have been a few recent developments on that front, which I'll highlight in this video, I guess. But yeah, anyway, we're not allowed in, so we can't get a permit. So we'll just have to admire it from afar. Although not that far, it's just over there. So there we go, Jebel Chambi. And over there somewhere, the actual Jebel Chambi is the highest peak in the whole of Tunisia. I wonder if it's the one with the radio mast on top of it just there. So it's a source of some frustration to a few people on Twitter that they cannot access Tunisia's highest mountain, but hopefully one day they will be able to. I'd really like to go and visit. They've got some pretty incredible species floating around up there in the mountains, including, what is it, like the Chambi mountain sheep or something. I'll have to find a picture of it and flash it up. But yeah, one day I'm going to come back and climb the highest mountain. We are just going past Thelepte Airfield to my right now. I'm not sure how well you can see it out of my filthy windows, but anyway, that's another significant World War II site when it comes to the Allied operations in North Africa. So that was built by the United States Air Force, 12th Air Force I think, in 1943 to support their operations here. And it's still in use, although I don't think it's in use for commercial reasons. I think it might just be a military airfield at this stage. Anyway, onwards, we're down in Thelepte to visit the archaeological site, so let's see if we can find it. Welcome to the archaeological site of Thelepte here in Kasserine. On first inspection, it's kind of disappointing. So it seems to stretch on both sides of the railway, which is still in use. I'm not sure what this is doing here. This is a 1st century AD Roman site. It was then occupied by the Byzantines. I'm kind of surprised by how little is still here. Just kind of some big blocks dotted on either side of the railway. But I think I could see a slightly larger structure over there. So let's wander over and see if that is anything more exciting. I'm noticing a bit of a common theme here in Kasserine, in that there are police and military everywhere. So I have to be quite careful where I point my GoPro, because there's a checkpoint just behind us and I don't want to upset them, because they don't tend to like being filmed. Although so far everyone's been very friendly, been very helpful with directions. Let's go and see what we've got here in this forest area. Right, we've got something slightly more impressive here. Ruins of some kind of temple. Everything seems to be about waist height. I mean, I can see the remnants of a wall over there that's a bit larger, but other than that it's just stone blocks dotted around as far as the eye can see. And I think it also stretches onto the other side of the road as well. But yeah, this is probably the best bit. I mean, it's all right. Probably worth coming to if you're a archaeology buff. You love a bit of Africa Proconsularis. Probably not worth a 350-kilometer drive from Tunis though, unless you're a real aficionado. Right, let's continue the journey. We now need to head back into Kasserine, which used to be called Cillium in Roman times. We're going to go and check out the archaeological site there. Welcome to Cillium. This is a set of Roman ruins just jutting into the southwest of Kasserine, the city. Now they've got, down in this section where we've just arrived, a rather fancy looking restored theatre, complete with guardrails and generators and things, but that's all locked up, so we can't get in there. But the actual site itself is massive. We drove in another section, a couple of 100 meters around the back, and you can see a lot of arches and various other preserved bits and bobs. So if we walk up this hill, let's see if we can get an overview of the site. Again, being careful, because there's a military base just over there, and I'm sure they don't want to be filmed. There's a great view of Kasserine over there. We've got the theatre. We've got this amazing gorge. I think you can see an aqueduct just going over it there. And then this is the top of the hill. Let's see what else is left of Cillium. We've got the Chambi Mountains behind me, the Kasserine Pass just there. Kasserine, the town itself, and then looking down here we have an amazing gorge. Let's wander down and get a better view of the theatre, because that seems to be the best preserved bit of this place. So despite the rain earlier, it's actually really hot down here. I think it's nearly 30 degrees, it's quite humid. I was quite surprised to find rain in June, but it's stopped now. And there's the amphitheatre. Fantastic bit of restoration work on that. It looks like they use it for live events, just not today. We're now just downhill from the theatre. There's some water flowing through. I guess that's part of the aqueduct system that we saw over there. And there's the gorge. And then over it goes to the other side, over that rather rickety looking bridge thing. Cool, and we got some caves down there as well. So this is the Mausoleum of the Flavii. Look at it, 3 stories high. It's pretty impressive. Apparently it has quite a bling inscription on it. You can see text all the way from the top down to the bottom. But yeah, that's the impressive bit at the top.